Tuesday morning, May 6, 2025. You are live on Substack with me, and this is Coffee on the Porch, a weekly live stream about music, spirituality, politics, life, whatever we want to talk about. My name is Eric Folkerth. I am a preacher, musician, social justice activist, and writer. And I'm here in Dallas, Texas, and I live stream with friends across the country once a week. Welcome, come on in. The coffee is warm. It's time for Coffee on the Porch. All right. Put the guitar down here. Welcome, friends. Come on in. Hi, good to see you. My name is Eric Folkerth, as I said. This is my live stream called Coffee on the Porch. I'm just making sure I have all the settings right here. It's good to see you. Good to see you. This is our second time to be here on Substack. We ditched Facebook Live last week. Went on Substack for the first time. Back again today. Kind of liked it. Got a lot more views. Got to tell you, a lot more views on Substack than we normally get over on Facebook. So, welcome to our regular crew. I trust they will be showing up, and welcome to anyone else who comes. For example, welcome to Helen and Laura and Beth, who are at least looking in momentarily. Glad you're here. This is an hour-long live stream. I've been doing this for years. We call it Coffee on the Porch. We used to be outside on my porch because I have a beautiful porch. And as it happens, it's a lot easier to do it here in my studio. I'm just going to be transparent. It takes me about 10 minutes to set everything up. And so generally now we are up here in the studio, which is here in Dallas, Texas, in the log house. We live in a weird, crazy log house in the middle of almost near downtown Dallas. And we've been doing this live stream for a long time. Talk about music. We talk about faith, religion, spirituality, the connection between social justice and that, politics, the world. Let me say hello to the people who are joining. Good morning, Linda Waring. Linda joins us from Ohio usually. Good morning, Michael Wesley, south of me, down in Duncanville. Good morning, Bobby and Debbie Berger, checking in from Plano. Good morning, Peg Davis. Good morning, Cat Bird. And you are all saying good morning to each other. And Nancy Kelly, good morning. Nancy is noting that it is a super rainy day today. Even if I'd wanted to be on the porch, nope, not today. I haven't looked at the radar lately, but they keep saying we're going to get hammered later on with some heavy rain. So, but batten down those hatches, y'all. Good morning, Dan Gillum. Good, and then Bobby also says good morning. So, good to see you guys. This is a live stream, as I said, that has a nice little community, and we're trying to build community here on Substack Live now. So welcome all you new folks. Don't feel weird like an outsider or anything. Don't think it's weird, or you can jump in. You can leave comments. That's kind of the hope. You can also be reminded of this. Our old way of reminding you is via a text reminder. If you want to be reminded to join us live, I will send you the link every week by text message. That said, if you subscribe to my Substack, when EF Talks, you should be getting an email about it as it goes live. And I believe that has the direct link. So you guys can tell me if that's true. I have no idea because I'm I'm doing the broadcast. I'm looking at that. Good morning, David Griggs. Good morning to my friend Richard Hearn up in the M Streets. All right, y'all, you're all here, and I'm happy that you're here, and I'm happy that some new folks are joining us. I do hope they join us and they stay, and we need community, virtual and real world. This is a message I keep pounding on. Oh, I'm going to adjust my mic. Every week I'm going back to this message. And I'm thinking about too many things at once. That probably means I should have coffee. And that's what we do. We first have our coffee. I have my little coffee on the porch coffee mug. I probably should go back to all the different coffee mugs. They're probably feeling a little left out, I'm thinking. I did not mean to abandon them, but earlier this year we got coffee on the porch. It is possible. This is the big one. It's quite big. This is like a chili cup, honestly. But on the back, it has our question, y'all. The question that's going to be on the floor here. How is your soul? How are you? And you can take your sip of coffee and look right at that. You can remind yourself, how is your soul? So, all right. Bobby, you're going to have to be more specific about what you mean there. Let me pour myself a big cup. Listen to that ASMR. Ooh. Cheers, friends. Pour you a big cup of whatever you drink in the mornings. Cheers. Take a big sip. Sit back in the chair a bit. Take a moment out. This hour is a moment out of your day. We know that you've got a lot to do. You gotta go. You got to go jump into your day here in a bit. I understand that. We all understand that. But we take a little moment here before we do that. So cheers. Take a deep breath in and out. Kind of center yourself a bit. That's what we do. Yeah, you could, Bobby, you could 100% use that big mug for soup. You really could. I still don't know what you meant by you get the link on text but not on Apple Message. I don't know what that means. You'll have to explain to me what the difference is. Yeah, Bobby, I'm afraid. So several people are saying they haven't gotten their mugs. And I got to tell you, I think this is probably Donald Trump's fault. I'm pretty sure that is tariff-related delays. I'm 99% sure. So I apologize for that, and I need to check on that. That's a good reminder that I do need to check on that and make sure that what's going. Okay, it says heavy rain starting in 15 minutes. Okay, that's always fun. So for all of you in other parts of the world, you're going to get to see us live through a Texas thunderstorm, which is insane often. So yay, that's something to look forward to. Let me put my do not disturb on here so I don't get disturbed. Good morning, Rick Lang. It was good to talk to you briefly this week. Okay, the question is, how is your soul? This is how we start. This is our little small groupy thing that we do here. We ask ourselves, how are we? How was your week? How is the world going for you? How are you coping in this challenging time of ours? Leave a comment in the comments. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Tell me how you're doing. I just kind of noodle on the guitar for a minute until we have a few comments, and then our first discussion of the day is just to talk about that. How we doing? Before we move on to other news. Hey, good morning, Amy Elizabeth Chibata. Welcome. Glad you're here. How you doing? What's going on in your life that's challenging? What's going on in your life that's great? Good morning, Marcia Gordon. Welcome. Welcome to this live stream. Stay for a while. Hang out. Dip your toes in the water of coffee on the porch. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Janie Henderson. Glad you found us here. I love the resonance of a good chord. I really do. I really do. It soothes my soul. All right. I got caught above me. All right, let me pick up my mug. Pull down the sides of the chair so we can see. How are you? How are you doing? How's everybody hanging in there? Let me run back and look at some of your comments here. What are we saying? How are we good? I'm going to come back to Rick because I'm excited about that, Rick Lang. Linda Waring says this: the more busy I get, the less time I stay focused, and so on the not so good. I guess I'm saying I'm good and I'm busy. That's a pretty good insight, isn't it? That as we get distracted by many things in our lives, strangely, we tend to focus on the anxiety-causing things sometimes, or the news. I know that happens with me because you don't have time. Let's think about why this happens, Linda. This is a really good point. My sense is this happens because the most anxiety-causing news is going to be the most intense at the highest level for you. And so you only have a minute, so all you hear is this screaming headline, right? You don't hear the more hopeful things that may be happening. I think I understand why that might happen, and I think that makes some sense to me. So the point is that reinforces our need to take some time out, to drink our coffee, to sit back a bit, to rest, to do some other things, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. But I'm glad you're good and busy, and I hope you take some time out, both and, not either or. That's the message of the day. Cat Bird says this: I'm busy Cat Bird is busy nesting. And avoiding the news as much as possible. Got all my pictures up on the walls this weekend, so no space for any new art. Well, you know what? I bet it makes it feel like home there to have that done. Yeah. Blessings upon blessings, Michael Wesley says. Finished Route 66. Celebrated a friend's 80th. Attended a graduation at Michigan State. Start my Secret Service Citizens Academy tonight. Wow. Tell us more about that, please. I'm fascinated to know what that is that you're doing. Good morning, James Myers from Houston. Welcome and good to see you. Good morning, David Griggs again. David Griggs says, local election in Dallas went fairly well, facing big challenges in the legislature to protect local control on various progressive initiatives, including environmental protections. David, I trust you saw the Dallas Morning News editorial this weekend. I think it was Sunday, where they kind of came out and slammed the legislature for this. I was somewhat surprised by that. Somewhat surprised by the fact that they slam that. Now, of course, many of the positions they've taken over the years have probably encouraged the legislature to overreach, but it is one of the paradoxes going on in politics, one of the many paradoxes, that these conservative leaders in Austin often talk about local control. They've made their bones on state control. Yes, state control to shield the state from the federal government. The same thing's supposed to happen between the state and the municipality, the city. Nope. These guys have decided when it comes to that, they would like to step in. And they would like to tell cities just exactly what they should do. So, yeah, it's pretty hypocritical. And if you did not see, those of you who are local, the Dallas Morning News had a very good editorial about this on Sunday, saying that state really is overstepping in many ways here. Richard Hearn says this, celebrating the life and discipleship of Frank Jackson, member of Lover's Lane, chair of Christ Foundry. Ah, yes. I remember Frank. Well and done, good and faithful servant. Is that today? James Meyer says this, anxiety makes it easier for people to give up. Yes, in many ways. 100%. Yes, it does, James. And keep remembering that, buddy. Keep remembering that that is true. I think I said hi to Joe Hamby. Rick Lang says, starting at the Oaks Juvenile Center on May 19th because the hospital wasn't the right job for me. Well, I'm sorry for that. I'm glad there's a new one on the horizon. James, I don't know what you mean by Richardson wins big. One more comment here from Amy. Amy says, I'm wondering about the school vouchers and the supposed mandatory diagnostic assessment to be provided by the public schools before students can get said vouchers as a diagnostician that will bankrupt public schools. Yeah, of course it will. Of course it will. James, I didn't even pay attention to the Richardson mayor's race. Tell me what happened there. Yeah, Amy's pointing out here, y'all, that just to get a voucher is going to take all sorts of other steps that will once again cause a lot, and maybe that's the point, Amy says, bankrupt the public schools just to make sure that people who are getting the vouchers are eligible for them. Yeah, ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. And maybe that's the point. I can't disagree with you. Good morning, Kelly Young. Janie Henderson says this, let's go birding. Friends and I are available to take anyone, beginners and all. Walk in the grass, feel the breeze on your face. Listen to the breeze in the cottonwood trees, hear the birds singing, smell the honeysuckle. You got to do that. You got to do that. You got to get out into the real world. As I've said many, many times. Oh, wow. James, I had totally missed that news. Wow, fascinating. Okay, I got to learn more about that. As we've said many times, you know, when Jesus says, consider the lilies, I don't think he's being metaphorical. I think he's saying, get your butt outside and look at the trees and the honeysuckle, as Janie says. Nature has a healing power for us. Experience that and understand that will help heal us. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rick. Hope you have a good one. Got to sing happy birthday to our people. All right. Yeah, James, you know, now that I'm back in Dallas, I'm not paying as much attention to Richardson, but that does seem like a fascinating development, and I would like to know more about that. So As we pointed out, unfortunately, one of the limitations of Substack is the links aren't live, so you can copy a link we paste here, but it's not a hyperlink, and that's kind of annoying. But anyway, thank you for all sharing how your soul is and what's going on with you. Let me catch up with a few things that I've been doing. Look, one of the things you got to do is normal things. In the midst of your anxiety about the future of the world and democracy and everything, you've got to continue to do normal things. You really do. So, modeling good behavior, the judge and I went to Ellen's for lunch up in Casa Linda. Oh my Lord, this is what they call pancake pot pie. Pancake pot pie. What? Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Lynn. Glad to see you guys. Good morning, Ann Swan. Oh, good. We got more regulars showing up. Pancake pot pie, y'all. It's like pancakes and eggs and cheese and sausage and bacon and hash browns. And no, I did not go walking afterwards. And man, did I feel it. Oh, my Lord. But man, was it delicious. And coming along here at the log house. I thought I had a picture of the log house. I guess I didn't post the actual log house picture today. But this is, can y'all hear that thunder? Big thunder here just now. But this is the porch. This is the back porch. There's Holmes. There's me. This is after a long day of working on stuff. Are we under a tornado watch? Okay, anybody, y'all, if there is, if there happens to be a tornado warning, will somebody just jump in and tell us? Lynn, I'm glad you found out how to get on Substack. Also this week, very exciting, over at the church at Kessler Park, we had our ministry fair after church, and we had some wonderful turnout for that. Really awesome. Very hopeful that people really do want to get involved in the community. This is a table for our friends at the Wesley Rankin Center on the left and the Wilkinson Center on the right. These are two agencies in town that help us with our neighbors in need that we do a lot of work with. And so we were just trying to make sure people can get involved and will get involved. And we really hope that they will. So, and then I want to talk about this. This was last Thursday night here in Dallas, Texas at Greenland Hills United Methodist Church. So many of you know that the United Methodist Church 1 year ago got rid of all the harmful language related to LGBTQ folks. It's all gone. We had a very bloody, bitter civil war for many years with our conservative brothers and sisters who did not want a live and let live situation. And so they took their cookies and left. They formed a new denomination called the GMC. And blessings to them. Good luck. But what that meant was the United Methodist Church abolished all the harmful language in the discipline. So that means that, yes, we have gay clergy. Yes, our pastors can do same-sex marriages. And yes, to be very, very clear, the queer community, the LGBTQ community is 100% welcome in our ministries. For many of us, that was always true. For reconciling churches especially, that has always been true. But now it's really true everywhere. And that happened a year ago this week. And so I'm going to be honest, when that happened, I think those of you who are long-term viewers here, you know that when that happened, I've been involved in this struggle intimately for 25 years. I've been at reconciling churches where we have a large number of gay, lesbian, transgender people, LGBTQ people. And it's been a very painful trip for many of them. Many people left our churches. We've lost hundreds and hundreds of members. and we endured an every 4-year cycle. And Richard Hearn is here, and he was one of our delegates during those painful, painful years. So for me, wait, you can't see or hear you. I don't know, Lynn. I don't know what to do. I'm going to tell you, if you're having issues like that, it's probably on your end. You may need to hit the play button or something. Of course, if you can't see or hear me, you're not going to hear that. Anyway, I'm going to write more about this later in June and July and August, very likely, this whole battle and the struggle. Because I'm going to be honest, when it first happened, younger people were super happy. Well, y'all, I don't know what's happening to y'all. You may need to click the play button. I don't know why that happens sometimes, but it appears to be fine on my end. I hope it's fine for y'all. Yeah, Ann Swan is pointing out that in her part of the world, she has to drive. She has to now drive an hour to get to the United Methodist Church. This is one of the very painful outgrowths of that split. But a week ago, we had this remarkable event last Thursday. This remarkable event over at Greenland Hills United Methodist Church. And that in the blue, this is Bishop Karen Oliveto. She is our first out lesbian bishop, now retired. She has been in ministry so long that she's now retired. And we have some other gay lesbian folks there who have been reinstated, including on the far left, Beth Stroud, the smiling woman with the rainbow stole, is Reverend Beth Stroud. In the mid 2000s, 2005, I believe, Beth was defrocked of her ministry credentials and kicked out of United Methodist Ministry. Horrible situation. And she went on a kind of a tour around the country. And she came to the church I served at the time, North Haven United Methodist, and we had just moved into a brand new building, huge new $4.5 million sanctuary education building, this very hopeful message, we thought, to the whole United Methodist Church. Look at what inclusive churches can do. We're growing. More people are coming, straight people are coming, gay people are coming. We're all living together, kumbaya. And we built this big building. We thought this was such a great thing. And yet here is Beth. I still remember this, and it was such a gut punch. I introduced her. She was sitting up in the balcony, and we gave her a standing ovation, and she spoke for a minute. She spoke to a Sunday school class, and I just remember the gut punch of that. It's just as one example of the many gut punches that we experienced over the years. Well, my friends, Beth Stroud is smiling, not only because she's a smiley person, but because she has been reinstated as a pastor in the United Methodist Church. Her orders have been restored, as is the case for some of these other folks sitting here. And so, yeah. David says this: if a congregation that left be allowed to return, yes. I don't think you wrote that correctly, but the answer is yes. If somebody who left wants to come back, there is a provision for them to come back. 100% there is. So we want to be sure everybody understands that. But it was a very moving night of celebration a week ago, and it was really the first time that I felt, I still wasn't cheering and high-fiving or anything like that, but there was a beautiful piece to that event for me. And I just kind of sat there and soaked it in. And I want to thank Jeffrey and Heather over at Greenland Hills, and of course Bishop Olivetto and Beth Stroud and Dr. Boggin and all the rest who came to put this event together, which just happened to be right up the street from us. So let me pull out of the conversation to say, Linda says this. She can see and hear FYI screen shows only 6 live viewers. Have not seen any comments on screen since we went to Substack. So you're not seeing any of these churches? Any of these comments? I don't know. David, are you clicking? Let me ask David, because he's been working. You're clicking that link that comes by email. Is that right? Is that how you're finding us? Because that may be the key. I don't know. And it could be that if you navigate away and come back, it doesn't show you the previous comments. I think that may be true. The churches that left, Bobby Berger is asking, are now called the Global Methodist Global Methodist Church. Interesting. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know about any of that. Wow, did you hear that? Y'all hearing this thunder? Whew. We're about to get hammered here, I'm afraid. There is some more stuff about the Global Methodist Church. I wrote Bishop Scott Jones, one of our former bishops, is still causing trouble. He needs to stop. He just needs to get a life. Move on, Scott. I've known you a long time. You never could read a room. Never one time. Scott Jones, never one time did you know how to read a room. You have zero emotional intelligence from what I can tell. You're too far in your head. And you don't realize that you've deeply harmed American United Methodists, and now you're harming African United Methodists. It's time to move on. The divorce is final. Go your separate way. Go and be well, Scott. Grow your church, but stop meddling. That's my message. All right, y'all. I don't know about these problems that y'all are having, and I don't know what to tell you. It's not going to help me in the moment for you to let me know these things, because I don't think there's anything that I can do about it. I'm going to just be very transparent here. So soldier on if you can. Try to re-find us if you can. That will be... wow, I've got such good comments on Substack with various things. Let me see if I can find... I'm not even going to try. I can't fix all this, y'all. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Yeah, Richard pointed out that some churches left just out of finances. LGBTQ was kind of a presenting issue, or they pretended it wasn't an issue at all. They pretended it wasn't an issue at all, and they just said, no, we just want to be independent. Some of them were at least honest about that, it seems to me. Okay. All right. If you guys figure this out, you put it in the chat so everybody else can figure it out. And I'm very sorry to not be able to help you. The last thing that I wanted to share with you that happened this week was this. I am a part of a group of clergy from across the Dallas area that intends to hold a regular vigil at ICE headquarters here in Dallas. And this was yesterday morning yesterday morning. We probably picture right about now. Yes, if you click the email link, that's probably going to be the best way to join. Okay, probably. And now I am also having some blinking here, and I don't know why. Don't know why. Maybe you know what, y'all? I can't rule out that it could be our weather. it could very likely be my internet is messing up, y'all. So we have a group of Dallas clergy that are interfaith that have decided to hold a vigil outside of ICE. We decided to start small. We had 6 people who joined us the first time. Phil Deakey's not in that previous picture, but here's a picture of Phil and Ashley. And our goal is to hold vigil there on the sidewalk at ICE every Monday morning from 10 to noon. Every Monday morning from 10 to noon. And yes, Michael, we're likely going to invite lay folks in at some point. We really do want to make sure we want it to be sustainable over time. So we are just starting with small groups of clergy, and we're intending to build this, okay? That's the plan. But we want everybody to be safe. And I'm going to be very blunt that look, ICE is harassing lawyers, social workers, immigrants. They're coming to people's houses, asking them about their pro-immigrant statements. And so we are being cautious here and starting with the clergy at the beginning. But no, I do think we do intend to have the ability for everybody to come out. Due process for all. This is Ashley holding up this sign. From the legal side of things, we need due process for all people. The people showing up for their hearings. It is not right, as we've talked about several weeks in a row, to just scoop people off the streets and take them out of here. And we've now known, reporters are clearly uncovering the fact that some of the people scooped up have no criminal records whatsoever. There is a process through which someone can apply for asylum. We have changed the rules multiple times, right? We had the so-called crisis at the border because people were just coming across. So we came up with this app as a nation that people could sign up on the app. And then people started coming in via the app. Now the Trump administration is abolishing that. And they're literally deporting people who are following the rules that our federal government told them to follow. 100% that is true, Richard. 100% that is true. The strength is the laity. I do want to read you some beautiful statements from the United Methodist Church. This is from one of our resolutions in the Book of Resolutions. Quote, the United Methodist Church says this to our own people and to the world. Raids on workplaces, homes, and other social places have often violated the civil liberties of migrants. Migrants should be given due process and access to adequate legal representation. It says it right there. Migrants should be given due process and access to adequate legal representation. Due to these raids and the ensuing detentions and deportations that follow them, families have been ripped apart and the migrant community has been forced to live in a constant state of fear. I'll simply add, it's not just the migrant community. We need to understand that all of our Latino brothers and sisters get concerned when these raids start happening. They start carrying their IDs everywhere. They wonder, is somebody going to pull me over? Could I get scooped up in this? I mean, one of the people that was deported was a gay hairdresser. No offense to gangs or gay hairdressers, but do you really think this gay hairdresser was a upper-level member of a Salvadoran gang? I don't think so. I don't think so, y'all. So there's fear. What this means is because people see that happening, they live in fear. And so let me continue with this thought. To refuse to welcome the migrant to this country and to stand in silence when families are separated, individual freedoms are ignored, and the migrant community in the United States is demonized by members of Congress and the media is complicity to sin. Is complicity to sin. Our faith demands that we stand up at this moment. Eventually, as Bobby says, eventually everybody will be vulnerable. I can't talk you down, buddy. I can't talk you down. I think you're right if we're not paying attention. We all have to stand for each other, and that is a part of why we're standing for migrants here. Now, we're calling this a vigil, not a protest. This is very important. We're holding vigil. We're praying. We're making faith statements. We're willing to pray for and with migrants who may show up to have their hearings. We realize that there may be actual migrant people who show up for an appointment, and they may want to have prayer with us. Oh, what happened to my... Oh, no. Well, I had Ashley's comments for you, and now they vanished. Dadgummit. I wanna read you one of the things that Ashley wrote. Let me see if I can just pull it up on Facebook, because I don't know what I did with the other copy that I had up. Ashley Ann Sipe is the pastor at Vista Ridge United Methodist here in Dallas, and she wrote some beautiful words about our vigil. Oh boy, that's really small type. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Yep. All right. This is what Ashley wrote yesterday afternoon after our vigil. Quote, "Today I stood in the shadow of downtown Dallas ICE building with other clergy holding vigil. Not a protest, a vigil. A vigil is what we keep when something sacred is at stake. It's a way of staying spiritually awake, refusing to look away, even if everything in us wants to fall asleep to the pain. It is a watchful presence in the dark, a stubborn hope lit by prayer. We believe this administration is carrying out deportations, quote, in the shadows, quietly, behind closed doors. At some point, new no trespassing signs were added outside the ICE facility. I don't know exactly when they went up or why, but I know what they mean. They mark a boundary, one that kept us from sitting with or praying alongside families waiting outside for their appointments. It means the picnic tables out in the back lot where children rest and parents wait in the heat were off limits to us because we didn't have an appointment. The message was clear. Presence is not permitted. But we kept vigil just outside those lines anyway. 2 reporters came. One was a social media documentarian who's been traveling the country, capturing the voices of resistance. He told us, "I don't want to tell my grandkids I did nothing." The other was a seasoned journalist with the Dallas Morning News. He told me his colleagues asked, "What do they think they're going to accomplish?" His response is, "I don't know yet. That's why I'm going." So he asked me the same question. What do we think we're accomplishing? At first, I didn't know how to answer. But then I remembered, a vigil is about keeping watch. We came to remind those behind those walls and fences that someone is watching. We will not fall asleep. We will not look away. We will not let this happen unseen. And in the midst of the watchfulness, there was one holy moment I will carry with me for a long time. A car leaving the facility, parents in front, baby in the car seat in the back. They slowed as they passed. We smiled and waved. They waved back. And then, so did the baby. And that said more than any sermon I could preach. It said, "We see you. You belong. You are loved." That is the gospel. That is the vigil. And as for my tattoo, the reporter noticed it and asked what it meant. It says, "Fiel a te o fim." I hope I pronounced that correct. Faithful until the end is what it says. That's what we're doing here. Keeping watch, staying present, refusing to leave even in the shadows, especially in the shadows. We'll be back next Monday and the Monday after that for as long as it takes. Those are the words of this remarkable friend, Ashley Ann Sipe, Reverend Ashley Ann Sipe from Vista Ridge United Methodist Church. And I'm grateful to her. And I think more than anything, we knew that vigil was what we wanted to do, but it really wasn't until we got there for those couple hours that we realized, oh yes, this really needs to be vigil. It needs to be prayer. It needs to be statements of justice and faith. And it's going to be times of quiet where we're just kind of standing there talking to each other or holding signs like this. And so, yes, thank you for all your support. Michael Wesley is pointing out something that reported by my friend Steve Monacetti, a investigative journalist based here in Dallas. Steve first pointed out what Michael is saying here. Quote, "Be careful, a prosecutor with U.S. Immigrations and Custom, James Roden in Dallas, is an overt racist and white supremacist. We were aware of that and we mentioned his name as a part of our vigil yesterday, Michael, we did." David Griggs has said, "It's sad when we can't call a peaceful protest or action by its name. The First Amendment is clear." David, I don't know quite what you mean by that. We're not calling it a protest to hide anything. We're calling it a vigil because that's the faith response. I want to be very clear on this. And you're right, the First Amendment is clear. The First Amendment is clear that that is our faith-based right to do, to hold vigil, to pray, to speak of our faith. This is why we started with clergy. This is why we want this to be clergy-led. No offense to lay folks. But our intention here is to make a faith-based witness. Jews, Muslims, Christians, anybody of any faith is welcome to join, and even our atheist friends are welcome to join if they want to stand in solidarity with us. But I want to be very clear. We're not disguising this. We called it a vigil from the beginning, and once we got there, we realized, oh yes, vigil is what we need right now. We're going to be there every week, same time, same place, to hold vigil. And the message will be different every week, because every week there'll be different crap happening, right, in this world of ours. So I just want to, I don't know if I'm overreacting to what you said here. There's nothing sad about that. That's intentional on purpose. To call it a faith vigil is important. And that is also protected by the First Amendment. That is not just the right of every citizen to assemble, which is under the First Amendment, but the First Amendment also covers our religious faith. And at a time when these conservative lawmakers in the Trump administration are trying to define what it means to be faithful, they have a very narrow, specific view of that. We are opening up this other true sense of Christianity, of Judaism, of Islam. Yes, I 100% agree with it that way, David. David says this: we have a right to pray, demonstrate, or whatever to show our beliefs and faith. Political and religious speech is the most highly protected right we have. It absolutely is. And we are going to trust that we will not be harassed, that we will not be ignored, or at least for now, we're going to trust that. Let me play a couple songs, y'all. Everything's so dang heavy now. I want to do a couple of my songs. I'm just sticking with my songs first off here. By the way, I do think some of you may have said the most reliable link, I think, is going to be the subscriber link that you get sent by email. Try that when you log on each week. This is a song that I did write for our more secular activist friends, I suppose. So for those of you going to the 50-50 protests, for those of you who are standing up and speaking out, this is a song that I wrote for you. Stand up to your full height. Shine out with your heart light. Raise your fist up and join the fight. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Millions of us showing up, we're out in the street, finding intersections where the causes meet. It's a power that you just cannot put down with a tweet anymore. The power of the people where we all lend a hand, all races and religions, every woman and man. The tired, huddled masses have a place in this land we adore. Stand up to your full height. Shine out with your heart light. Raise your fist up and join the fight. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Your full height. That's my song for standing up, speaking out. However you do that, whether it's a faith-based speaking out, whether it's just a justice-based speaking out, whether it's calling your representatives, writing a letter, getting out to vote, whatever it is, we have got to stay engaged even in the midst of these very, very challenging times. I actually totally forgot the first verse. So you pulling up the covers. Oh yeah, I forgot the first verse. So you're pulling up the covers to the top of your head, spending every moment lying here in the bed, 'cause the news on the television fills you with dread every day. Well, I know that the future seems dark and unclear. Pray you can listen and I hope you can hear. The way to get your hope again and conquer your fear is to say, stand up to your full height. Shine out with your heart light. Raise your fist up and join the fight. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Ah, yes. Your full height. That's on my new record, y'all. Hope a lot of you, I think, our regular folks have that record or have heard it. It's a good thing to stand up to your full height. It really is. Ann Swan says this: we held vigil in front of the courthouse there. We're only 12 of us, significant number in a red state, extremely red county, and we had a good and bad reaction. Our leader was Buddhist. Well, yeah, why not? Okay, good. Yeah. I think it's important. And for us, we're really hoping to sustain this over time. Again, drip, drip, drip. Week after week, we will be there. That's the goal. That's the goal. Hope we can make that happen. Please pray for us that we are able to make that happen. But look, y'all, it is hard. It is hard to stand up. It is hard to speak out. And it is very, very easy to get demoralized, to say to ourselves, it doesn't matter. I'm just one person. Yeah. I understand that. I really do. And that's why it really is important to keep doing those regular things. For the members of our congregation, it's showing up at church. It's trying to find ways to get involved in local community. Local community is so dang important. It is so tremendously important. I can't even emphasize I can't overemphasize how important our local communities are. Get out in nature, like me sitting on my porch last week. Get out there, y'all. Get out there and look at the trees. You got to get renewed. You can't be pedal to the metal every day, all the time. You just can't. None of us can. And then finally, share meals, share food. You know, the gospel lesson for this last Sunday was a resurrection appearance of Jesus. Jesus is with his disciples post-resurrection. And you might think he'd have some big, brilliant word for them. He doesn't have much time left with them. You might think that he would tell them some big, wise, long sermon. No. He's by the shore. They get out of the fishing boat. They come over to him, and they can hear the crackling campfire, and they can smell the sizzling fresh fish. And Jesus says to them, "Come have breakfast. Come have breakfast." That's the brilliant theological word Jesus says to them that day. Come have breakfast. What? And the reason for that, I think, is Jesus is reminding them we've got to keep doing the regular things. We really do. On Sunday morning, as I was preparing my sermon, a dear member of ours, Jerome Garza, sent me a New York Times piece that literally just ran that morning that talked about how important belonging is, community is, local, real-world community. And I want to read something from this. This is from writer Lauren Jackson, who writes the Believing column for the New York Times. Quote, "In Believing," I believe this is a book she wrote, "I explain that religion offers people 3 B's: beliefs about the world, behaviors to follow, and belonging to community or culture. Readers seized on the last one. They said they wanted to belong in rich, profound, and sustained ways. It makes sense." This is her continuing. "It makes sense," she says. "A major global study recently released by Harvard and Baylor universities affirmed what so much other data has shown. People flourish. They live happier, healthier, better lives if they have strong social connections. It also found that religions, for all their reputational baggage, can provide people with robust community." This is what we know. This is what we've known for many years. I think those of us in the United Methodist Church and mainline Protestantism overall, we've known that this is our superpower, and we've got to do this. Look, this is an online community. It's paradoxical that I'm saying this to you, but online communities are not enough. They're really not. They're great. They're wonderful. But we are meant to be with each other, and what's lacking in society is trust. Trust between people. The building of trust in the real world. Churches can do that. We bring people together. So we're starting, for example, at Kessler Park, we're starting 3 new groups. One is a walking group, just a walking group. That's all they're going to do. They're going to gather every week and go for a walk. Another is a prayer and meditation group that is explicitly spiritual. But we're going to not just do it by ourselves. We're going to gather together for centering prayer one week and then a meditation time the next week, led by 2 of our lay folks. And then we're going to have dinners for 6 times that we get together in small groups at people's homes and build trust and community at the local level. This is the superpower of religion. And studies have shown that what we call voluntary associations between people, that is, groups that people voluntarily join, bowling leagues, gardening clubs, library association, neighborhood associations, whatever, lovers of motorcycles, it doesn't matter. But studies have shown that those groups are collapsing over time, and the pandemic genuinely collapsed them in a really troubling way. And so I think this was the wisdom of Jesus's message, which is have some breakfast. Have some breakfast. Get together with people and go have breakfast with somebody, okay? find a local community you can be involved in. If you're in Oak Cliff, come join us at Kessler Park. You don't have to be a member. Our vision, our mission is to build community and trust in these challenging times. That's it. That's what we're trying to do. You don't have to sign on the bottom line in blood or give us all your money or anything. We're just hoping to be useful to our community in this challenging time, useful to people to build that trust back. Because if we don't have that, then government really can't function. And that really is where we are. We're really at a place where all that is collapsing. And so we got to build it back, and we got to start with the national. So that's why we hold vigils at ICE. But you also got to start with your local friends wherever you are. You got to do both and. You got to be pastoral with people and justice-centered with people. You got to do both and all the time. Not either or, both and. Every day. Sit back, ask yourself, how is my soul? Take a cup of coffee, sit outside and watch the flowers grow, the grass, enjoy a sunset, and then get back up and do something good for the world. That's the pattern. Anne Swan says this, in Houston, ICE was hanging around an apartment complex, and a young man was in the courtyard with a bullhorn telling people not to come outside. These are the kind of acts of resistance, and that are going to be important. I found a video online yesterday of a lawyer who showed up filming with ICE hanging outside one of his clients' houses. And they turned around and went back. They left, thank God, after some discussion. It's hard. It's hard, y'all. It's really challenging right now. And I understand that. And I understand the desire to maybe just curl up behind the bed. But we're going to be at ICE every week with those vigils. We're going to be here every week to remind you of this message. Connect with Spirit, connect with each other, do something justice-centered and hopeful in the world, and then do it again. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And that is the only way we're going to make anything better in our world. Okay, time for us to stop. A couple of housekeeping reminders at the end. The music of the day. Well, we didn't actually do both songs. I was going to do Emperor of Mickey D's. That's another song of mine. My music is all available at ericfolkerth.com, including Your Full Height. The song I did is on the brand new record. It's out on Spotify, Apple Music, all your streaming platforms. Go listen to Your Full Height. Put it on repeat. Listen to that song over and over. Let it help you get your courage to stand up to your full height. And then The Emperor of Mickey D's. That's a song I wrote making fun of Robert Kennedy Jr. and our emperor, our current emperor. I call him the Emperor of Mickey D's. I'll do that next week. I'll do the Emperor of Mickey D's next week. Want to remind you to please visit us at Kessler Park. We have a growing number of people who are coming, a lot of families coming. We had an amazing crowd Sunday. I mentioned the record. Here's the record. Rock Hammer to the Stone, available all these places. If you like physical CDs, I will send you one. Again, go to ericfolkerth.com for that. Do subscribe to the Substack here. Subscribe to the When EF Talks Substack. And if you are a subscriber, you should be getting a email message, okay, that comes to you to remind you that we're about to go live. I will also send you a text reminder each week if you want that. If you want a text reminder to remind you to come join us on Coffee on the Porch, there's the information about the text reminders. All right, y'all. Thank you, as always, for being with us here on Coffee on the Porch. This is our second time on Substack. Once again, we clearly had a very nice live crowd. We got hundreds of views during the week, and I was able to post some clips during the week, which were super helpful and fun as well. So here we are on Substack. Thank you, Substack, for making live streaming available. And thank you to all of you for spending an hour here with me on the porch here at the log house in Old East Dallas. God bless you all. Until we gather again next time, you guys keep safe, keep dry if you're in the way of some rain this week. And God bless you and keep you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.